Well, let's see. It's up to you.
I was No, actually, it wasn't like you were live, but whatever. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime4All podcast. We got one episode a week. Well, we got one episode for Kenshin this week, and maybe that may be a topic that I'm gonna bring up later. But really quick, we were off camera, just I guess catching up, and then politics came up. Probably the one topic this week, just the one mention from politics this week. I hope that this doesn't become a weekly thing, but based on what's going on in the state of America, it might be more than a week. It may be more than like once every other week, whatever. But Spear, take it away. I'll just sit over here in the corner.
All right. No, don't sit in the corner. Talk to me about this. So there's one news story that I've hardly seen it anywhere. Like nobody is like reporting it, and that I can find except for like local news. But there's a law like that they're debating right now. Hey Joel, hang on a second. There's a law they're debating right now about
I'm listening.
Joel wants a pet, Jesse. Oh no. He got up and he was meowing at you. There's a law that that if it passes, that's going to require schools to start their day with the Pledge of Allegiance and a Judeo-Christian prayer. And if the school refuses, it will lose a quarter of its annual state funding. And it will be a state constitutional amendment.
Huh. I knew they were trying to put Bibles in the school, but I thought that was mostly happening in the South.
Do you realize how straight up again? But to make it part of the Constitution, do you realize how straight up like against the Constitution that is?
I mean, what a part of what this man's done at this point. Watch it, folks. I'm about to get serious here. I just want to warn people right now. But what part of this man? The last 4 years he was here, and these next 4. What make you think he even cared about what was constitutionally illegal or constitutionally legal?
To be fair, this is not Trump doing it. This is Alabama politicians that are, I'm sure, Trump supporters.
So this isn't a South. Okay, that's what I wanted to make. That's what. Okay, that's that. Well, that doesn't make it any better, but it gives me better clarification. Well,
yeah. I said it was Alabama.
Did you? I did not. I missed that. But yeah, this is definitely in the states that I don't know. There's Trump supporters, but I know these are I'm gonna use the word so-called Christians that exist down there. I think it's like national Christians or Christian nationals, whatever you want to call themselves. Yeah. I noticed that there's also this divide starting to come up between people who call themselves Christian and people who call themselves nationals, whatever like that. I'm noticing there's a divide coming up, and it's kind of weird that I've seen this now. This divide should have came up many years ago, but like as far as like putting a prayer, I feel like that should be something that shouldn't be a forced requirement if they want to do that. And I mean like the children specifically, if they feel like they want to do that, in inclusion with what they're doing in the schools, I feel like that should be how that should be broached. Regardless of the separation of church and state, people can have their own opinion on that. I don't think that should be changed. There's a reason why there are churches and schools, and then sometimes there are church schools. Like, I mean, there's actually one nearby me. Actually, I used to go to it, and then they took me out because they were going to hold me back for some reason. So I went from private school to public school. Apparently, this one, I understand from my mother, like they were telling her that I wasn't, I guess, measuring or something like that. But it took me to a public school, and I was doing fine there. So maybe there was some really weird bias with me. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I don't remember it. But I don't think there's any reason or any wrong that can be done from learning about religion. I'm not gonna get into any of that here. But It's just that I don't know if you should be forcing that into children. I think the aspect of like if a parent wants to instill that into a child, which mine did, I had no problem. I feel like I'm just as normal as anybody else on this land. Just got a different belief system, but don't think you should be forcing that. The idea of exploring that should be. I think it's how a lot of families end up with children that are atheists or whatever like that because they got forced into it. So but the idea of making it a part of the amendments that there has to be a prayer. I guess on the topic of amendments, are these things that gotta be enforced? Because here's the thing, like there's the amendment on free speech in the Constitution, right? I'm being facetious here. I'm being facetious here, but
yes,
there's an amendment on free speech, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Why is he trying to silence the media?
Why is he trying to? Because he doesn't care about the Constitution.
I think there's even an amendment on free press too in there. Like it just like they want to instill the parts of the amendment they agree with versus the ones they don't agree with. I notice even like the whole bear arms thing. So actually, I was watching a podcast today, and it kind of brought up the vagueity, the vagueness of that particular amendment, because we don't understand it as the right to hold a gun, right? Basically, we have the right to register and learn how to use a gun, right? That's how we all understand it. It's kind of interesting when that was brought into the Constitution. It kind of makes you wonder, like, did they understand how vague that was? Because there's been a lot of jokes around, even Family Guy made fun of it with the whole right to bear arms. They basically had an episode where they brought that up, and then somebody walked in with actual bear arms.
That's funny.
I remember seeing that for the first time when I was younger, and I was like, you know what? That is a vague amendment, actually.
In some countries, a woman with bare arms is like punishable by like death, isn't it? You got to keep covered.
Dang it! Wow, that went over my head. That went right over my head. It took me a minute that you were talking about Middle East. Jeez, that just. But I don't know. It's just. I mean, you want to talk about things that haven't really been talked about. I don't know if you found this one. I'm not sure how like. I'm gonna misquote this really hardcore, and it's not on purpose. It's just I haven't seen this in a while. I just happened to randomly stumble upon this particular article back during when Trump, when Elon, I'm not gonna say Trump, when Elon shut down U.S. aid. Apparently, I think maybe a few days after the fact, there was this woman who was a part of like I guess Thai immigrant camps, and stuff like that. I think in Saudi Arabia or in Trinidad, whatever she was at, she was using US aid to get she had like a medical condition that made it harder for her to breathe, so she was using US aid to get oxygen, and like she was doing this like it was apparently fairly regular based on what happened after the fact. But when USA got cut, she was unable to get oxygen, so she ended up dying 3 days later. Nobody was covering this. I just happened to stumble upon this. So like I'm just saying, yeah, the idea like not everybody's covering everything. I was like, to me, that's something that should be covered. I know the why they're not covering it because they don't want deaths to be reported. And I mean, this now I'm just thinking about this. This just occurred to me. I don't know why this just occurred to me because it's kind of just been a thing. Like there's all this topic. I see various clips sometimes of Trump talking about like, of course, like it would be bad if you report the numbers. We need to just not like cut those numbers in half. This was during COVID when he said this. I remember thinking about that back then, thinking that was bad, but now I'm actually really thinking, contemplating it. With that lady that died, I just not said out loud. Yeah, he is. He wants to make sure that only the good things get reported versus the bad things. And so far, I want to say he's doing a bad job of it, considering that I don't think anything's been reported as of late is a good thing. I guess is an end all to be all to say this is that we made an enemy. We made an enemy out of Canada. Canada. I mean, I guess they're not really our enemy yet, but I fear for like the day that like Canada has had it with us, because I bet it's been like it's been coming. It's been, you know, like they've had. I mean, they are our nicest enemy up to the north. I mean, not enemy. Jesus, I keep calling it enemy. Nicest neighbor up to the north, and they've done nothing but help us. I mean, they're already threatening to cut off electricity to the border up there. I'm just like, this man has already started a global trade war. How can anybody be, you know, dumb enough to think that he's looking out for their best interests? He even tweeted the things, somebody saying stop complaining to him about the price of eggs. He's got more important things to worry about. Those aren't the exact words, but that's basically what the tweet was that he retweeted. The price of groceries.
Yeah, I saw that.
The price
I
of,
saw that.
Oh.
It's not a tweet. It's a truth.
I don't give a damn. you can call it the rear. You can call it dark side of his ass for all I care. I don't care.
That's funny.
I mean, when all this happened, when Twitter got when X got way worse, I needed to leave, and you know, as I was, you know, getting ready to do all the leaving, I was necessary because a lot of people were doing the exact same thing, moving over to other platforms, not just Blue Sky. Which, by the way, there are more platforms out there than Blue Sky. You know, if you don't want to go to Blue Sky, don't worry about it. There are other platforms to go to. But like when leaving, a lot of like Trump supporters that were all over Twitter were just like, good, we don't want to see you here anyway. Like we don't want the leftist, you know, news or whatever, like there are fake news is what they like to call. I really hate that term now, because it's just like, before it was a funny term, but now it's just like, it's become this vitriolic message from everybody else.
I'm sorry, what term is it?
Fake news.
Oh yeah.
I hate it. Used to be a funny term, but now it's no longer a funny term, at least in my eyes. It's like, you know, he took it.
It's become a major problem.
Huh?
It's become a much bigger problem now.
What, the actual idea of fake news or the word?
Like, news made in like bad faith.
Well, I mean, a lot of those news organizations are nowadays trying to like assimilate so that they don't get the ire of Donald Trump. MSNBC's already started doing it. They got rid of Joy Reid recently. There's talks, I think they might be getting rid of Rachel Maddow after what she did, which was like, she kind of like talked a little bit of smack towards MSNBC when they let her go. Like, they let go of an Asian woman who, I think her name was Alex Witt, I think. They let her go. Lester Holt left, and he's going to do Dateline. Yeah, he's going to do Dateline after the summer. Yeah, a lot of prominent figures are just, you know, going. Right now it's just Rachel Maddow. I think I forgot the name of the guy. I don't even know. I forgot the name of his network. I don't really watch news anymore because of what's been going on, but it's not my main source of media that I consume. I see his face, I just cannot think of his name. Ari Melbourne, yeah. Ari Melbourne. He's still there. I think they let go of their Middle East dude. I don't see much of him anymore. Yeah, but Joy Reid's like the most prominent one. They put her in her place for her time slot. Michael Steele and two other women who are actually anchoring a show during the weekend, and then they brought them in to replace her for that spot. I just like, they're like, what do they think is gonna happen? That black woman that's a part of that one's gonna do the exact same thing that Joy Reid's been doing. I think, in fact, she has been doing it. He's been really outspoken. Yet again, like Jasmine Crockett, they're not gonna shut them up. Oh, speaking of, like, one last thing, Michelle Obama has a podcast. She's gonna have a podcast apparently with her brother. I found this out today, and I was kind of shocked. So I started telling a lot of the, I guess, the women that I work with that this was happening. I suspect they're probably gonna want to hear from her more than what's going on in the news right now. So I was like, it is what it is. I hope whatever this podcast is gonna do is, gonna be good for everybody. Whatever she's gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Barack Obama is silent. I mean, I think it's fine for right now. I don't really think he needs to really do much of anything. There's not much anybody can do. I mean, yeah, they can fight back, but like the Democrats can only fight back so much.
Yeah, like it'd be nice if they fought back at all.
I mean, they tried during the. I know a lot of people made fun of the signs, but it's like, I don't know what you expect them to do. I don't think they want to act like the the MAGA folk or whatever like that and cause a riot.
Isn't there somewhere in between?
I don't know. I mean, I know that's kind of like what people's been asked. Isn't there like an in between? I don't know. Like I really don't know if there's an in between. I don't know. Like, what would you expect them to do? I guess is the best. Maybe they don't know. I mean, it's been made evident they don't know what to do.
The problem is that Trump would just love them to protest so he could kick them all out. And then find a reason to like not allow them in future ones or something like that.
See, that's the problem, is they're feeding into Trump regardless. And that's the worst part, is like there's nothing they can do that won't feed into him. The guy is literally a black hole. Like you feed him and that's about it. I don't know, it's just, publicly speaking, I think we're in trouble until like 2 years from now, but that's a long time. I mean, on the bright side, we're in March, so there's only maybe like a year and quarter left before they have to do the House again. Still a long time.
What do you mean the House?
I think it's like we vote for like who's the representatives in the House.
Oh, right.
Within 2 years. Like that's the only time I would say that maybe. But I guess at the same time, if they don't do anything leading up to that, no one's gonna really believe that they have the backbone to do anything. But at the same time, it's like they don't really have a lot of power. I think that's what the problem is. Like people want them to do something, they don't realize they don't really have a lot of power. Like all they can do is not vote for like the resolution this Friday or by this Friday and let the government shut down. Like that's really the only thing they can do. Basically, what they can do is do nothing. Which is a lot of people says what they've been doing, but people are getting upset with the Democrats about that. Like I don't mean like I don't know. That's like that. I think that's the best solution is let the government shut down. It sucks that has to be what has to happen, but one, are they really doing anything right now? Right now, they're just fighting back and forth, trying to prevent Trump from doing dumb things. But honestly, it's kind of too late for that. He's already done a lot of damage already, and he's done damage to Elon.
Who doesn't seem to care.
I mean, why would he? Why would he care? He's not really an American. I mean, I think that's his third citizenship, but like his first citizenship is South Africa.
Right. And the Democrats are celebrating kind of stupidly about Tesla's stock going down because it's not really that bad right now.
I say you should celebrate that regardless, because I mean, any tink in Elon's armor is a win for me.
Okay,
like,
but look at this chart I just copied off Google a second ago. It's coming down from a big spike, but there's no sign that it's not just coming down from a big spike right now. It could be that his stock isn't doing bad at all, and this was going to happen either way.
I know what you mean, but it's like I really don't like him. So anything, and maybe that's a bad thing. Is like, I dislike him so much. I realize I have disdain for this guy more than anybody on this planet. I really wish that I
Uh,
knew how to control that and maybe not let it like blind me. But I really don't like the man, and I felt this way for a very long time. It's not just like a random. This year I felt this way. No, I felt this way about him for a while, and I want to say maybe it started really being bad around when he took over Twitter and turned it into X. But like, there's this disdain that I just can't shake. And I mean, yeah, his stock may not be, and this may, as you said before, because based on how his stock trended before, it's gonna be one of
yeah,
those times that it's just going down and it'll be right back up. But any reason that he's doing bad is a good thing for me. Which again, I feel bad that I even feel that way. I can't control it. I really do not like this dude, and it's like one of those things. Like, I think the best thing for me would be if he were to just disappear from the public eye, but he won't do that. And even if he did it, there's no sign that that would make me feel better. The damage has already been done. I don't know. It's like you're telling me I shouldn't be excited about any of that, but it's like, well, there's not much else that I can be excited about. Like, we're in we're in real big trouble. I mean, like, Trump literally used the words World War III in front of Zelensky, and Zelensky doesn't seem he's backing down. I don't know if there's ever going to be like a truce between those two, because what Zelensky is asking, I'm jumping all over politics right now, but like I guess we'll break from this in a minute. This might be
you gotta let me do my second news story before you break.
that's no problem. I mean, this might just be maybe a topic, and we'll just move on to the anime and the podcast. Um, yeah, this would be the topic. I mean, this was a random first topic to try as a restructure is happening with the podcast, but hey, I do things by the seat of my pants. Um, with Zelensky, the one thing he wants, I know this is what he wants. He wants to guarantee the U.S. will back him up if and when they make another truce with Putin and then Putin breaks it. He wants us to back him up, but Trump doesn't want to do that. He's already made that really clear with his whole "I want peace." Like, no, you don't. You just want Ukraine to give up their land back to Russia, and like that's what Putin wants. He wants that land back. He won't get it back, but that's what he wants. But it like where we are right now in the world kind of sucks, because like we literally, I mean, when we sided with Russia, I think our fates were sealed. Which I really hate that one man can decide who the entire country sides with. And then like he's
Yeah, that
arrested.
really does suck.
And then he's like, and then he's arresting, Pakistani. Is it Pakistan? I think like, he's arresting, like, I guess, pro-Palestinian, whatever you want. I forgot the name of, like, the people that, I mean, he's like talking about people who caused issues within schools when Hamas got attacked. Hamas attacked all those 2 years ago, apparently, which has been 2 years, 2 to 3 years ago now, when they did that first attack in August. I mean, dang it, October.
Okay.
But like he's also removing, he's moving a lot of people's like citizenship that Biden gave. I know some people, regardless of both sides, don't think that was a good idea for Biden to do that, but it was like the whole idea of immigration is really messed up over here. It literally is one of the biggest problems America faces. The worst part is we're no closer to solving it, because people are running away from bad situations in their countries.
Right.
And I tossing it back. So, what was your second story?
My second story was give me a second to call it up. There's a Texas bill that is on the table right now that would charge transgender people with gender identity fraud if it's passed.
No way that's real.
It's real. I'll give you a link to one of the stories. It would be a state jail felony. To identify to a state agency or private employer their biological sex as the opposite of their biological sex assigned to the person at birth.
Here's the thing. That statement is already wrong. As far as I'm aware, transgender people aren't claiming their biological sex is actually what their like if like a trans woman, she ain't claiming that she was a woman at birth. She's just claiming she's a woman now.
Mm-hmm.
That has nothing to do with what her biological sex was when she was born. So that's a lie just in and of itself. Is like it's claiming that the person saying that they were born this way.
Right.
Like that right there, that's a lie. Like, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be shocked this is happening in Texas. I think one of the biggest problems with the trans issues is that everywhere in the world people have their own issues with it. There doesn't seem to be a central issue with it. It seems like everybody has their own issues with it. Got some people misunderstanding that was not misunderstanding. Got some people thinking that, at least I guess some women thinking there are trans men trying to get into the women's bathrooms to rape them. And I sit there and I think about that. I'm like, that's such a silly thing to think and also be concerned with. Mainly because, as far as I would be thinking, and I don't know this, I mean, I had to speak to a lot of them to understand what's, I guess, to think, to get what their thought process is on this. But it seems kind of silly that they think a trans woman would want to walk into the women's bathroom. That's the main reason why they want to be trans is to get in there to rape you. The amount of women that get raped, I guess, I don't know the number or metric on this, and you can probably look it up. I mean, I don't know the metric for when women get, like, the woman who gets sexually assaulted. I should use that phrase it that way, when sexually assaulted. I don't know if any of them are men that wanted to be a woman to get inside the woman's bathroom. To me, that just seems like first of all, that's very expensive for a one-time payout, and then two, for that to happen, people don't understand the effect of estrogen inside the male body. You essentially castrate yourself when you inject that stuff into your body to make the transition.
Yeah.
So it's like even if they were able to get it up, it wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying that the act is morally right or anything. I'm just saying that it feels like to me they wouldn't have the drive to do that. Like, for the most part, and I don't like. I mean, I don't like, in sexual preference aside, the whole trans thing has nothing to really do with that. It's just their identity of themselves. The whole idea, it's the whole idea of gender dysphoria. But I wouldn't think they'd be interested in that, if I'm being real. I mean, this is just an assumption I'm making. I realize this is a dumb assumption to make, but it's like, I would think that maybe that, for the most part, if they thought they were a woman, they probably would be interested in men. That's just my thought process. I'm aware that's a really bad thought process to have, because I know of a trans who is into women, even though she is a woman herself. She's transitioned to be a woman. It's like, yeah, there's a possibility that they could be trans and also queer. Well, queer in their eyes. But I can get any of that. But so I don't know. It's just it's one of those really weird things. It's like, we shouldn't really be all that concerned with other people's business. We should really just let them be. I understand there's a fear of, like, biological men getting into the bathroom for women. I understand that. That's not something to laugh at. And people who are morally wrong. But at the same time, to be afraid of trans women, I don't know if you should. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with women getting along with gay men. I feel like it's a possibility that they can do that without being attracted to you in any shape or form, because they aren't. And maybe that's what it comes down to. It's just the idea of men and women being the same, in the same room naked. Maybe that's where the problem kind of lies down.
You said naked.
Damn you. But it's like, I think we said this like last week. There seems to be a really weird discrimination with this whole idea, because they don't worry about that with the trans men. Like, as far as I'm aware, we don't hear about any of that. The whole idea of transgender and getting rid of it is everybody who's trans, regardless of what gender they were when they were born to what they're transitioning to. But you never hear that about trans men. Jesus.
Yeah. Sorry.
What was that?
I just did a Control F for something, and I couldn't find it.
Okay.
That's all.
It's just random. But no, like, I mean, you
It's very easy to like throw you off sometimes.
I'm on a train, I'm talking, I think at the same time. I need to stop doing that. But no, like, and like, maybe I could look it up to see this. There actually are places, like, there's some documentation that they're concerned about trans men, but I feel like it's like there doesn't seem to be this problem with trans men in men's bathrooms. Now I feel like it may have something to do, and I will say this much. It may have something to do with the fact that men don't mind women in the same bathrooms as they are, because they want you to see naked women. I feel like that's what it comes down to. But even with that whole idea, it's like, I feel like, the heck? Oh, that's just Intel driver. When it comes to, like, I know when they do the estrogen and testosterone, it affects the bodies differently and stuff like that. And like, it's just like, I feel like the bodies would look kind of similar. I mean, obviously trans women have to go through a little bit more surgery to do some things, like, turn their genitals into the right genitalia for that gender that they say they are.
Yeah.
So some surgeries had to be done for that. So I don't know. I've seen some really convincing trans women, and you wouldn't even know that she wasn't a she. Like, I don't know how you find out than her telling you, but it's just it's like one of those things. Like, I don't know why you'd be all that concerned. It's kind of the whole "don't ask, don't tell" thing. Though I will say, with that being said, like, if you are a trans, man or woman, I feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody, I think you should tell them. Just make sure that, because there's no surprises. That's my thought process on it. Like, I feel like you shouldn't tell them that, like, on the first date. But maybe if you think things are progressing, you should probably let them know, so that way they're not shocked later on in a relationship. I feel like that'd be something that, like, would cause some issues.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. Like, with that whole being put in jail, that seems excessive. Because then, what kind of jail would you put it in? All kinds of problems kind of just show up just from doing that. Why can't we just let people be happy? I mean, they already are removing the trans people from military service.
Yeah, and everywhere else they can possibly do it. I'm sure it's not stopping. I'm sure they're going to make everything worse as much as they can.
I mean, he's already made groceries go up, and I mean, it's funny too. People complain about groceries, but like, they're not stopping. Like,
stopping what? Buying groceries?
Yeah, but basically what I'm saying is, like, people are complaining about it and upset about Trump not caring. Honestly, the best way to make a point towards him is possibly just stop buying groceries, and people start losing money. That's probably an industry you could affect more with the idea of a protest. But
stop buying groceries.
Yeah, I know that's like a dumb idea, and it will never happen because people need groceries.
What do we call, like, go homesteading?
I don't know.
Order a herd of cows.
I mean, actually, this is not even a joke.
Hang on, Jeremy. I gotta run out real quick. I forgot to milk the cow. I'll be right back.
I hate you.
Oh, there it is. Come here, Betsy. He almost got into the neighbor's yard.
But
my cow and the neighbor's cow don't get along very well.
But, like, what I was gonna say before you decided to... That was a weird segue, but but no, like, the whole idea of eggs. I saw this clip a lot, and it was somebody talking. It was a Fox News post, obviously talking to somebody else. I think it was a Republican lady, and they had brought up the idea, like, the price of eggs. She was like, people complain about the price of eggs. What do you say about that, or how you plan to fix it? Is like, she just kind of went in this random, really weird tangent about, like, maybe it's time. Like, it wasn't in so many words, but it was clear that she said maybe it's time. We start, like, we have all this land in our backyard. Why not just get a couple of chickens? Because I have a couple of chickens in my backyard. I can grow a couple eggs. I'm just like, do you
Because
realize?
having your own like farm of chickens is more expensive and a lot more trouble than just getting eggs. Not everything is cost efficient to do it yourself.
Well, I mean, you kind of just explain everything right there. But I was just like, in my mind, I was like, there's no way you're gonna get enough Americans to do that. Oh, apparently, there's actually rental services
Plus,
for chickens.
where I live, there's an ordinance you can't even have chickens.
Huh. I mean, if there's an ordinance here, which I don't know, it doesn't really matter. I'm not even kidding. The Walgreens that I kind of shop by every now and then to stop in there and get stuff. Every now and then, and I say every now and then, but it's every time I pull into the parking lot, I hear roosters or chickens in somebody's backyard. And every time I park in the parking lot and I hear that, I get caught off guard every time because I forget that there's chickens back there.
Yeah.
Make things worse. I think a couple of years ago, I was driving. This was back when I was fingerprinting. I was driving home and on the road I didn't really take, and I was looking around my own business. I kid you not, I saw a white chicken running across the road.
Yeah.
I sat there and I was like, who is racing chickens around here?
I mean, a lot of people in Danbury, people still raise chickens even though they're not supposed to. But like during COVID, one of my friends got a bunch of chickens, and like for his kids, just for something fun to do. You know what I mean? While everybody was in isolation, and the neighbor threatened to report him, so he had to get rid of his chickens. He built a whole like thing for them and everything. He didn't know it was like illegal either.
I mean, why would it be illegal? I mean, in all honesty, it's like if you want to go through the trouble of raising a chicken, I feel like they shouldn't try to stop you unless there's things that they're not telling you about the area that, like, that you'll find out as you start raising these guys. Huh? Danbury family cited for owning chickens wants a rule change. I want to raise chickens. I should be allowed to raise chickens. What the heck?
Yeah, right.
I mean, people raise alligators. Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Well, I would hope that maybe something would happen. But I mean, so far the judges are interfering, but there's only so much interfering that they can do to stop him. I mean, they are literally, as he's saying, flooding the swamp. There's only so much attention you can dedicate to every little thing.
Yeah, he'll just keep acting, and they don't have time to stop everything. And if they do, then he'll just bring dog in and cut their numbers.
It's pronounced Doge.
Whatever. Doge.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of Doge, really quick, I keep bringing this up, and it's like, but we'll talk about Renegade here real quick. Apparently, Big Balls, the dude whose handle has been everywhere on the news, apparently I found out his real name. His name's Edward. So I think we can all stop calling him Big Balls now.
Okay.
I just thought that was funny. Is like his name finally got put out there somewhere because like I will not lie. Every time I talk about that guy, I always hesitate to say his handle because it is kind of just random in conversation. Talk about Big Balls.
Yeah.
Just random stuff between like, why are you talking about your big balls? Why do I need to hear this? No, it's not me. It's somebody else.
Well, you are black. I picture you having like a wheelbarrow, like in specially fitted pants that you just insert your balls into and just carry them around. Excuse me. Man with big balls is coming through, pulling your wheelbarrow around.
Okay, switching topic. An hour in. Rurouni Kenshin, episode 21.
Oh, that is a radical shift of topic.
Yes. The Great Kyoto.
So we're actually going to talk about Kenshin today?
Might as well. I mean, I have some things to say. I mean, right? I will say overall.
I thought there was too much blood.
I disagree, but you know, whatever.
There was only one scene, but it was like enough blood for like the entire series.
Now, that's exaggeration.
There was so much blood in that scene.
I still say like if like that was supposed to kill him, then half the shows that we have shouldn't exist.
It was like a blood geyser.
Kenshin shouldn't be alive right now.
No, but that guy should definitely be dead. That guy should have instantly died.
That's not how blood loss
When he
in
put
the
his
arm
sleeve,
works.
when he pulled his sleeve back down, it should have been soaked in blood, every inch of it, and dripping. And when he ran up, there should have been like a trail of blood behind him from his dripping like sleeve.
I mean, you could.
I mean, assuming he should have passed out. He shouldn't have been able to make it back. He should have passed out and died on the ship.
I don't think he nicked a major artery. Because he had to squeeze his fist to make more blood come out. It wasn't like it came out on its own. He had to squeeze his fist for it. That tells me that he did not nick an artery. Because an artery, there's no stopping that blood.
Okay, well, he had like an artery's worth of blood veins per square inch of his arm because that was a ridiculous amount of blood.
I don't think it's that bad. And you may think I'm trying to play a character. I'm not actually. Like, it's probably like he had to like really scrape his arm with those roses. It wasn't like the roses penetrated his blood, which by the way, roses should penetrate your skin much easier because I've had that happen to me before. It's probably why I don't touch roses. Don't want to touch them because of the freaking mechanisms they have on their stems to protect themselves.
You know there's thornless roses, right?
But you lie to me.
I'm just saying there's an alternative for wimps.
How dare you? I cut myself with a knife every day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I do randomly have myself cut randomly from just dealing with paper at work every day. Like I find random cuts everywhere on my body. Well, on my hands.
Plus, they're not even called thorn. They're not even called thorns. Apparently, the projectiles along the stem are actually called prickles.
That's a fake news media again. Sorry, I had to make it. I had to make everything all come full circle.
Yeah, we're back to being politics again. I see how it is.
Not really. It's just one statement. I still say what I say. Like that. There's like I don't think. Yeah, there was like a lot of blood at the very beginning, but it seemed that on top of that he had to squeeze his hand. So like to me, it's like if he was consistently bleeding, or maybe there was a lot more blood when he squeezed his hand. Like way more blood that came out, like maybe, but it was like, you know, he was still sweating, so it wasn't like he wasn't fatigued from it. And we humans can like lose a substantial amount of blood before we actually pass out.
Okay.
Like it's like what's called bleeding out. Like we humans we can survive. There's a limit.
He was a blood geyser.
Like blood geyser aside, this episode is interesting. Just a few aspects, such as like how fast the fire got taken care of and dealt with. I'm kind of shocked. Another thing I was actually kind of shocked by was once the fire was taken care of, I started wondering, wait, are we not gonna have the Shishio versus Kenshin fight? Apparently not.
And we're not. Yeah.
And on top of that, I remember as the season was going, I remember that there was a fight between Kenshin and Shishio, but I don't remember it being on a boat. So at first when I started seeing this happening, I was like, Maybe I'm not remembering Kenshin all that well. Like I thought they weren't on a boat when they were fighting. Clearly, they weren't on a boat because they didn't fight here. Um, Actually, Yayoshi spent most of his time trying to fight Kenshin. Um, and got Kenshin to pull out one of his final techniques, only for them to get stopped. By Shishio throwing his one of his pawn swords in the mix. Uh, I kind of find interesting too, because it seems like when he threw it in there, it was like at the split second before their swords got close enough to prevent a third weapon from getting involved, and it just shattered. But again, that kid does not. What? Why does that kid keep on having brittle swords? He doesn't seem to have a sword that can withstand impact at all.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Unless that's not his real blade. But like at the same time, he's still.
Or it very well could have been a good sword, and they're just too powerful for it.
I guess, but it's like that kid seemed to be like, if he needed to get involved in the fray, he would be he would definitely be a good match for one of them. With that being said, I also feel like, don't quote me on this one. Of all the small things I'm trying to remember,
Yeah.
I remember Yahiko was also involved in the fracas and also got into a fight. I think it's him. I think I'm wrong. I think it's him. I could be wrong. But like I do remember Yahiko getting involved in some fracas before. I just don't remember when and where. It can't be beyond the Shishio stuff because I don't know anything beyond the Shishio stuff. So this memory has to be coming from the Shishio arc. I just don't know if it's him or not. I feel like it has to be him because I don't think Yahiko could fight anybody else if he had to fight somebody. And I'm like, and I realize that like that kid is on a different level. But I feel like because we've seen that Yahiko is gifted, like I feel like maybe it's one of those situations where Yahiko's gift could come in handy. Who knows?
In what way?
He might actually be better than we think. I mean, he has been training in the background. It's not like he hasn't been doing any training. We see him every now and then, periodically, when he's swinging his sword. So it's not like he's not like training.
I think he needs a high level technique like Sanosuke has.
He might get it. I feel like I don't know. Just so many small things. I'm gonna call these things might not be real. I feel like I remember something about Yaiko picking up a technique from Kenshin. Like just from looking at it, I feel like he picked it up. Because Yaiko did mention that he wanted to, learn from Kenshin, but Kenshin said he wasn't trying to teach anybody. But that doesn't mean Yaiko couldn't have seen a technique from him and then picked it up. I mean, it always happens in anime. Younger kids see an attack and immediately are able to imitate it. I mean, this is like that in particular seems to happen a lot in fighting games. Like, there's always a character that seems they can just look at an attack, and they're really young too. But like they can pick up an attack just from looking at it, and they're able to mimic it. It may not be as strong, but it's also the fact that they can still pick it up regardless is still like a something to be proud of. But again, it's like
Yeah.
with the idea, it's like there's still too many characters. Kenshin can't fight them all. I don't think he's interested in fighting that kid anyway. I don't think Sanosuke is gonna fight him, considering that he learns in this episode too that Anju is one of the 10 swords. So
One thing I don't get is like, at what point does this storyline go anywhere? Because Kenshin won't kill any of these people, so what is he going to do to like get them out of the way? He can't take all 10 on at once. I would argue that he probably can't take 3, maybe 2 of them on at once. So, I mean, maybe he can take 2, but not 3. So, like, at what point does he like just get completely beaten at every turn because he won't kill these guys and they don't give up?
I think they can. I think they can give up. I think it's mostly just like they have a.
Why would they give up? Because he hit him on the head with a sword? Like,
no, I mean, I think it's like they don't really, based on what I'm able to see and judge from each one of them. None of them, except for I think her name is Kamatichi. I forgot her name. Kamatami Kichitama. I forgot the name of the woman with the scythe. none of them seem to really have that much of an like an attachment or like a. They don't seem to, even though they pledge their allegiance to Shishio. I don't think any of them really care about that. I don't think they could care less about Shishio. It's like Shishio has to summon them. Like like they're on their own. You think people who will be very loyal to him would be closer by than at least from the sounds of it they were. Like
Uh-huh.
they had to be summoned, and on top of that, like they don't get along with each other. So to me, it's like these guys were definitely these guys and gal were definitely brought into the group one by one. Like they weren't aware of each other until like they were summoned together to meet. Um, Based on how very little they get along with each other, tells me they have never been summoned together besides the time they were just summoned. Um, Something about them just their inability to get along with each other and them all having their own goal. I mean, we saw the blind turtle man. I forgot his name. We saw that he only joined, and apparently it's supposed to be the case for every single one of them. They have a condition that they joined the group on, and he joined on the condition that he could kill whenever he wants. Um, that doesn't sound like somebody to me that Shisho like can control 100% of the time. And I don't think Shisho even cares to control him. I think it's one of those. I don't think any of these people have a. I guess I don't think any of these people have they. I don't think if they were beaten and they just know they couldn't be beaten, they couldn't beat the person. I feel like they would all flee. I don't even think it'd be out of fear. I think it'd just be out of like realizing that this is not the time. They're not gonna die here. They have way more things important to them than Shishio's grand plan. Because they didn't even know they were being tricked until it was too late that Shishio wasn't gonna be where they were. Every single one of them was wondering where the heck Shishio was. I wish she was the only one who saw the Shishio's plan.
But they're not in danger of their life.
I mean, I think they're only really here to fight Batosai, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them are gonna probably give up the moment they're not gonna they're gonna get that fight. Trying to fight the Manslayer is, I think, a lot of people's like grand goal from the looks of it, because that name seems to carry a lot of like weight with people, even evil people, like are like
Um,
villains who like that name seems to carry a lot of weight. I'm pretty sure Kenshin can knock them out and just leave them on the ground. I don't think even if he doesn't kill, I feel like he could still knock them out and knock them flat. I don't think any of them like the kid possibly could outrun Kenshin, but even that's even questionable. Um,
the kid can run pretty fast.
yeah, I don't know if like Kenshin. I don't think he can outrun Kenshin. It really depends on if like Kenshin's not been really running at full, at full power or whatever like that. Who knows? Like,
Why would Kenshin chase him and not just let him run off? Like, I feel like Kenshin would just let them run off.
man, that's if like the kid decides to run. But I mean, we've seen that he's really quick because he managed to block a move from Saito. Then again, Saito didn't really lunge his attack. We keep on seeing he's trying to make an attack, but it seems like he never does it.
Yeah.
Like I'm guessing they're keeping that hidden for right now. Um, Whatever that technique he's about to use is. But I feel like even if Kenshin doesn't kill, I feel like he can knock him out. Like now, if you were fighting them like 3-on-1, possibly not, because he would probably be able to knock out one and maybe graze two, but the third one definitely would be seen coming and wouldn't be caught in range.
Yeah.
But I think he could knock him out 1-on-1, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them would probably fight him 1-on-1. I mean, I guess it depends on their personality. The Bat Dude and the Scythe Girl, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they get along, but they don't seem to hate each other like the Bat Dude and Rat Man, the guy with the giant dude, the guy with the giant brain and the giant man. Uh, he seems to dislike that guy a lot for some really weird reason.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know, like not many people then I don't think really get along with each other. Like I mean, the closest I would say is the Scythe Girl and the Bat Guy, but I don't know if that's just because they were tasked with trying to get the fire going, which is why they cooperated, or something else. Um, and Frog, I mean, and Roly rolling dude who you hate. I I don't know
Good.
anything about him. I don't even remember if he's important. It's kind of weird that so far he hasn't done anything but roll.
If I
And
was Kenshin, that would be the one that made me like kill somebody. I would finally break, and I'd become the Batusai, and I would like kill him, and that would start my path to darkness. That might be why he's here. The antagonist to be so annoying that Kenshin wants to kill him.
I don't know. If Kenshin seems too laid back to be annoyed, I think it'd take a real serious threat to annoy him. Which is like why I don't think Kenshin's gonna fight any of these guys.
Well, I mean, he's a murderer. That might annoy Kenshin too.
But so is Kenshin. Kenshin's a murderer too.
Well, he's not currently a murderer.
I don't think that matters when you if you stop murdering, you're still a murderer because you murdered people.
The whole point of Kenshin is that he's left his past behind, taken on a new identity,
Yeah, but he still sees
and
himself as a murderer because that's why he's on his journey. He's trying to redeem himself.
yeah, well, he doesn't like people that are currently in the process of being an active murderer.
Has Shishio killed anybody?
Didn't he land on somebody? Is Shishio the which one's Shishio?
Guy in the bandages.
I don't know. He's a crime lord. He's killed people in like by proxy at the very least.
I mean, tomato, tomato. I don't know. It's like to me, it's like feel like if we're going off annoyance, I mean, yeah, he's annoying. There's no denying that. But I don't know if he's annoying enough to get Kenshin to like use the reverse side of his blade.
Every side of Kenson's character will be tested to see if he becomes the Batusai and becomes an active murderer again. And that's his challenge. That guy's challenge is to be so annoying that Kenshin is enraged and wants to murder him. I've broken down the plot.
I
This
guess
is
like is
this
it
is
Yayiko fighting him instead of like fighting that kid?
this
It's
is
like
now canon.
'cause I feel like because I've been trying to think is like can Yayiko really fight that guy like the kid? I don't think Yayiko has the speed to match him.
Which one?
The guy that's always with Shisha with his eyes closed, the guy who feels no emotion.
Oh, Yahiko would get his ass kicked. I don't even know why you're bringing that up.
I was trying to figure like if there was a fair fight because I feel like there's a fair fight in one of these guys for Yayiko, and I feel like it's always it's gonna be the kid, even though I'm pretty sure because Yayiko's like 9, that guy's probably 13 possibly. I think he might be year 12, 13. He's definitely older than him. Um, but I feel like you can still fight him. Like I feel like there's no way Yayiko could fight somebody that towers over him by like 5 feet.
That guy fought Kenshin to a standstill. Why would Yahiko ever have a chance at him?
I don't know if that was a standstill. That was mostly Kenshin using a sword that broke. Well, he broke that sword. Never mind.
Yeah, but they were fighting on an even par during that time, and then they broke each other's swords and just called it a draw. No one else has ever been able to break his sword. Cannonballs couldn't break his sword.
I thought part of me thinks that I think Yahiko has it because like, I mean they kept talking about Yahiko's potential. Even Kenshin said that he has a lot of potential.
Yeah,
Like,
someday.
well, I mean, in order to realize he's got trained and he's been training, I feel like he needs to be put in a situation where he can test himself. This is what I think. I mean, yeah, he could fight the. I mean, yeah, he could fight the orange dude, the ball dude. But I feel like maybe he would need somebody else with him too. I don't know.
He could fight like one of the arsonists.
I feel like you're like really you're like underestimating Yahiko.
I don't. Okay, maybe two of the arsonists.
Man, you really do not have faith they're going to use Yahiko in any meaningful way.
I don't think so.
But they got it because like there's no other important swordsman around them. They could use Kaoru for something, but like even then, I still suspect that if she's gonna fight anybody, it's probably gonna be the Scythe girl. And I know that sounds sexist, but it's like that Scythe girl isn't really a Scythe girl. I just want to point that out.
Nobody
I feel like
except Kenshin is going to be able to take on the 10 swords. Except for that guy that was with him during these episodes on the ship, and I can't remember his name.
feel like they're gonna
the
be able.
police
I feel like they're
officer.
gonna be able to take him. I feel like some of these people are gonna be able to fight some of them.
No,
I feel like they're gonna.
no.
It's like Kenshin can't fight them all and then fight Shisho. That's not gonna happen
Oh, that's a good point. Let me think about it. No.
for a lot of logical reasons. Like Kenshin cannot fight all of them and then get up to Shisho. There's no way because Shisho would be at full strength and Kenshin wouldn't.
That's what I mean. I don't see how this show. I don't see where this show has got a chance to go anywhere. Like he won't stop them for good, and they don't have any reason to stop if their lives aren't in danger. So I don't know what he's going to do except beat them up a few times, maybe, and like never get past it.
Kenshin's got a group of people that he really depends on, and on top of that, they're like Shisho has shown us something that I think is really important. He
What's that?
underestimated Sonosuke. That means that the other people will underestimate everybody else. It would give them leverage to do something. Now, I will have to admit, maybe so far Shishi won't be involved in that. The little boy that he has with him, that I guess might be his apprentice. Who the heck knows? Um, won't underestimate him because like they know they fought him at this point or saw whoever, because I mean he involved Sonosuke, and Sonosuke is going to be involved in this with Anju, and Anju is one of the 10 swords. Um, I feel like in order for this to be interesting and for these people, for these other characters' existence inside Kyoto to make sense, some of them have to fight some of the 10 swords. I mean, even freaking Karu's met a couple of them at this point, and I think Yaiko's seen a few of them. Even Misao almost got killed by one of them. I just feel like there's gotta be a reason for some of these characters to exist. There's too many of them, and Kenshin's got to fight Shisho. Like, this anime isn't going to end in a standstill because that would make sense story wise.
I mean, the only thing I can think of is he tells the swords to step aside so he can take care of it himself, which I could see happen. You know what I mean? And then the swords are out of the picture for that fight. But then what does Kenshin do? Beat him up and think he's going to change? I just don't know. I don't know where this goes. Like, everybody's fought so far. He's either beaten up and they can be contained in prison, or he's beaten them up and that's somehow changed their like perspective on things. He's never like been up against someone completely unrepentant that didn't die. You know what I mean?
I mean, here's the thing, though. Just think of our Kenshin's perspective. I mean, we know that sometimes somebody's got to die, but Kenshin's whole idea is he's trying to change. He doesn't want to be the manslayer anymore. But
I know.
as we know, Shisho isn't going to let that happen. So, Kenshin doesn't want to kill. But I mean, if push comes, he might kill him. You never know. There's never there's no solid ground that Kenshin won't kill him. I mean, he's been told several times over and over again that he might have to kill him. I mean, this is kind of very familiar territory for
But
me
it's like
in terms of
it's
anime.
like Return of the Jedi. Like, if he strikes him down, he becomes the bad guy.
But also the idea too is like before all this, Kenshin had to learn about himself with his old master, and for him to be able to learn the final techniques that he just learned. He wasn't able to learn them fully, mainly because Kenshin was so ready to die, and everybody else saw that within him, because Kenshin figured death was his punishment, that he was going to end up dying anyway. So Kenshin was just ready to die, and that was the biggest problem with Kenshin throughout most of the show up to this point. But Kenshin is beyond that by this point. So I mean, if he does kill him, he might be able to fight the urge to revert back. You never know. So far, the only time we ever seen him revert back to his old ways was when somebody he loved was in danger.
Right.
But as long as Kaoru doesn't end up fighting Shisho, she should be fine. And that should, though, granted, knowing Kaoru, she probably will still try to be near Kenshin as he's fighting Shisho. But whatever. I mean, I feel like these characters are going to be used against like the 10 swords. I understand your reservation toward that because like what's the point of them being the 10 swords if they can be taken down by these characters? But I don't think I don't think they've been taken down by these other side characters makes them any less strong. It's just that they literally took advantage that these guys were weaker than them and they didn't think they could be defeated. It's like that David versus Goliath thing. Just because someone's bigger than you doesn't mean that they can't be beaten. So just because they're stronger than you doesn't mean you can't take advantage of their strength.
David and Goliath is a bullshit story.
Huh?
David and Goliath is a bullshit story.
I think the idea with that is just like, idea like you shouldn't give up because somebody clearly it looks stronger than you.
It's a metaphor, but in reality, it would never work. A little dude with a sling fighting a giant.
Because giants don't exist. And it's saying like, I don't think like weaker characters defeating the Ten Swords makes them any less strong. They just literally let their guard down. And I feel like that's something that each one of them has. They're way too confident in their strength. We see that throughout the entirety of the thing. I think that's what makes them unable to, to collaborate effectively is because they think that each one of them is better than the other. This was seen with the bat dude with the against this little short scientist guy and his I guess his creation, whatever that guy with the giant sword is. Each one of them thinks that they're better than the other one. Like even though they're in the same group with Shisho, they think they are the stronger one. I mean that dude with the tall hair, the brim hair, he doesn't seem all that interested in getting out of jail. And I don't even know if he thinks that Shisho's gonna come and save him. I don't think he is. I don't think he cares. That's why part of me
I think
thinks
he seems to be biding his time. Like he seems to have a reason to want to stay there.
I don't know if he's biding his time. I mean, it just seems kind of really random to me. I feel like there'd be a glint in his eye if he was biding his time. I mean, he might be, who knows? But I feel like he's just there. He doesn't care anymore. Like, I feel like it's one of those situations like they only act this certain way because they're a part of the Ten Swords. Otherwise, they're probably decent people. I think decent in quotation marks.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what they do in their daytime? But that's just my thought process. I feel like I remember there being a fight with Yahiko and one of these guys, but the problem is if that is wrong, I don't know where I'm remembering a Yahiko fight from because I have not seen anything beyond this unless I'm misremembering that I have. But I feel like I haven't because I would remember the next big guy, the next big bad. I think I know who it could be, but I don't know if that's true or not. Like my memory of this show is kind of foggy up to this point, so I was like, I feel like I remember there being a Yahiko fight. I feel like they're like, because I remember Sanosuke fighting Anju. Is it Anju or Angie? I keep forgetting the big guy's name. Um, I just remember that Yahiko gets involved in the fray at some point. Because there's no other character that's on Shisho's side that they introduced. That might be around Yahiko's age or whatever like that. The closest is the kid who shows no emotion. But I do not know his name, and I really wish I could know his name. I forgot his name. But like I just think your apprehension behind the whole idea was I don't think it makes them any weaker. It just means that they're dumb enough to think that they could like let their guard down around them. So, like mice escape giants all the dang time. Like I mean, think like even insects like they're small enough to get away. I've known
Mice.
yeah mice or insects in general, just smaller creatures in general. You try killing them, typically you miss. Typically you do. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you do. It just really depends on how fast you are compared to them. But yeah, that's like I'm not counting out anybody in the group that Kenshin surrounded himself with. Except for Megumi because she's not a fighter. She's just the doctor. Um, speaking of Megumi, as we're finding down here, I find it interesting that her role is literally just to be the doctor of like make sure people are fine, and she's got a structured system of like if you need help immediately, if you can bandage yourself, if like you need to be intubate or whatever. Like she has a system just by looking at you. She got the little like wooden plaque that she gives you immediately. I just thought it was kind of interesting that she has this system that's working really well, even though she has a lot of people coming in. She appears to be the only doctor who knows anything, like at least in that particular clinic. I would have also thought was interesting.
I wonder how many other clinics there are because they like.
I don't think there are any. I think she's the only one.
Then there's not that many injured people. Because she seems to be pretty chill right now. She's not exactly running around.
I mean, she said that it's starting, so there's a good chance that they just haven't all shown up yet, because they all might not know that there's a clinic around there. This isn't like modern day like world. This is like pre-Westernization. But yeah, it's probably not that many. I mean, we'll see. Who knows? I mean, they had like firefighters show up and tear down people's property. I was just sitting there thinking as I was seeing that happen, I was like, man, those people. Like, I'd be upset if I was in the middle of eating my dinner and then they brought down the front of my house. I'm sitting there eating, like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, oh, my front door. I'm sorry, sir. We need to protect the rest of the neighborhood. Sitting there eating my dinner and like with the front door open, everybody's looking at me. um, anything important? I guess we can talk about Andrew really quick because I kept bringing him up. I don't know what his I don't know what his like prerequisite was for joining the Ten Swords. But we see him kind of just sitting there, kind of like holding his hand to his chest for some reason. I don't know, like maybe like probably thinking maybe he's slowly dying. I can't think of any other reason like why he'd be standing there like that.
Wait, what are we talking about?
Andrew, big bulky dude with the monk that Sanosuke met.
Why he's just standing there? Why would he be slowly dying? Like, where do you get that from?
Like no, like after like once he saves Misaf from dying from that dude's spear, they all get away, but the Karo kind of just like bows to thank him. But we just see him there, just standing there with his hand, with his fist over his chest. I don't know.
Did he get stabbed?
No, he didn't get stabbed. No, what I'm saying is that he was just standing there with his hand over his fist over his chest. And I was just thinking like, I wonder if he's slowly dying. 'Cause, I mean, his story so far that we know of is like he used to be a monk, and then for whatever reason he couldn't forsake worldly things, so he ended up like becoming a wandering monk because he still like believed in the monk teachings. He just wasn't able to fully chill out and get in the monk style. So he pretty much ends up like wandering as a monk, just training his fist and whatnot. But I will say it's kind of interesting that he like so far we've only seen one monk do this. And it's him in particular who's just wandering around. And Sanosuke just kind of happens to wander and stumble upon him. Like, I feel like the chances of you doing that is like 1 in like 3,000. Like, I feel like the chances of you wandering. I understand that's all plot, but it's like, it's like, what was he doing out there? Because I mean, I feel like he's already mastered the 2 layers. It's not like he's getting any stronger. At least from what I could tell, he just seemed to be out there like living by himself for some unknown reason. Not really even letting Sanosuke like know what he's doing out there. It does seem just kind of random that he's out there by himself for no real particular reason. I'm probably just thinking that maybe he's slowly dying. Maybe he has some unknown disease we're not aware of. I had no idea. And then also his connection with the Ten Swords. He doesn't seem the type of dude that'd be a part of that group, but he is.
He doesn't seem to fit in with the others. He seems to keep to himself and not like really act like the other ones do. I mean, they're pretty diverse, but like, I don't know. He seems reluctant in a lot of ways.
That's like, I mean, I feel like it's like I don't know. Like maybe I'm going too far with the whole thing. He might be slowly dying, but it's just I don't know. Like mortality seems to be a huge thing with this show. Is like you only can live for so long, and your era is done basically. Like the whole idea that things come and go, seasons change. I don't know, it just seems like to me it's like something's up with him. Like, it really becomes really aware. It really becomes like something's up with him by the end of this episode. And I don't know what it is. He seemed to favor saving people versus killing people.
Hmm.
And like I don't know what his prerequisite was for joining the Tin Swords. Um, each one of them apparently had a prerequisite. I can guess the Scythe girl might just be like, I join you, but like you have to let me, I guess, sexually advance on you. I guess I have no idea. I feel like that would be what, because she seems really interested in Shishio. Shishio doesn't seem all that interested. Yumi, he's got Yumi in the background, but Yumi seems like she has a chance based on the way she's acting. So I don't know. It is like each one of them is really weird in their own way, but Andrew, Andrew, what his name is, like really seems, as you said, different. I just don't know what it is. It's like part of me thinking that maybe he's dying. Maybe that's why he's off on his own for the most part, so he can just die in peace. I don't know. He did say he nearly did die when he finally mastered the two-layer technique that he came up with. Like he was close to death when he mastered it.
Yeah, apparently, like almost dying is a way to get good techniques because that's what happened to Kenshin too. Like the guy almost died when he learned the technique.
Fatal strike. Um, but yeah, like, I guess basically the overall episode was like they managed to stop Shishio's plan from bombing Kyoto because Sanosuke stopped the boat. Um,
How did you
basically,
feel about that? Did you feel disappointed that it was kind of like a, I don't know, the drama didn't peak in the way that I thought it was going to.
no, I don't know. I mean, at first I was kind of like, "Aw," but at the same time I was like, where could they go from the boat bombing Kyoto? It's not like anybody was there to stop it, or keep like people from dying. I guess that would have raised the tension and urgency of everything, but based on what things were progressing, it didn't seem like it was leading to thinking about it now. Based on the way things were progressing, it didn't seem like they were leading towards Kenshin fighting him. It's like Kenshin was about to draw his sword on Shisho, and all of a sudden, Shisho just comes out of nowhere.
It's easy to get those two mixed up.
It's just like I don't understand. To me, based on the way these are progressing, it's like looking at everything now for what it was. This was not a setup for Kenshin to fight Shisho. So like, with that being in mind, I feel like maybe this is the only way for this part to settle. They wanted to get Shisho's plan out of the way, so that way they could just have a full-on one-on-one with Kenshin. Because Shisho says that he doesn't want to fight him here. He wants to wait and to set up a situation, and he's gonna call. I guess he's gonna send Kenshin a bird telling him where he wants to fight him next. So so there must be a training arc somewhere in the middle of this, like an episode where Kenshin is just like either resting or fine-tuning his techniques. Same thing with Kenshin, and same thing with Saito. I feel like Yahiko's gonna get in on this. He may not. But I swear it's bothering me that part of me is like, I feel like Yahiko fights in this thing. I just don't know who or what. And the same thing with Kaoru. I feel like she fights in this. I just don't know who or what. Um and I think Misa's
I really think her role in this is just to be a victim that Kenshin has to protect.
with Kaoru?
Yeah.
I don't think so. For one, I don't think he could in the middle of a fight with Shisho because Shisho doesn't know Kaoru is a trigger. He'll probably find out later on, but right now he doesn't know that Kaoru is a trigger. So like, I don't know why he'd attack her. He seems more interested in attacking Kenshin. Um, and then Misao, I'm pretty sure she's gonna get involved. Oh, speaking of Misao, Okina is apparently alive. He's actually in the he's in the clinic apparently, resting. That was interesting. They decided to let us know that he's alive
Yeah.
and not doing well, but he's still alive. Um, I hope he comes out of this. alive, preferably not dead. But, I think that's like all the time I can think about. I mean, the fire pretty much goes.
Flops.
It does some damage, but it doesn't do a lot. They managed to be able to like separate. Um, they managed to separate the fire locations enough so that way it doesn't burn their entire city down. Which I think this is kind of intelligent. I'm surprised we don't do that nowadays. Then again, what we do is we lob huge amounts of of water on the problem and hope that it dissipates.
Yeah.
So like, it depends on the era. Um, I think it's kind of cool that the police chief was like, "I'm a worrywart," so I called in the firefighters just in case things went wrong. I'm like, that was a good thing you did that. um, and also Saito has some respect for Kenshin. I mean, not Kenshin, but from Saito now, or Sanosuke now too. So that's cool. Even though he tries to stab Sanosuke on the roof again, and Sanosuke just rolls over. He's like right as he's about to get stabbed, and he brings the sword back down. He's like, "Dang it, I missed again." It's like this man really wants to stab him. He wants to draw some blood.
I feel like that would have killed him. It was we went like 4 inches into his skull.
It's like he really just wants to. He really wants to draw some blood. Like, I don't know how long I have to keep on going with it, but I remember this being an actual trope in shows. It's like somebody on the roof, and then they poke him, but it's just like, gee, that just seems like deadly. Like, what the heck? He really wants him dead for some really dumb reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Saito has some respect for him now. Saito, the dude that was on the boat with Kenshin, that you couldn't remember his name. Um, yeah, now they're waiting for I guess the next step in Shusho thing where he wants to fight him. It's interesting that Kenshin like entertaining this idea, because I probably would have tried to jump him right there. Then again, maybe I couldn't because that kid is way too dang fast. He'd probably block me before I get a chance. Moving on. I wonder what Yumi's purpose in all this is. It like at first I thought maybe she had some skill, but now I'm starting to think that Shisho's just he's just there trying to impress her, trying to impress her. And it's working. Though at one point she was drunk, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know where she got the booze from, but it'd be really funny if she was like really dangerous when she's drunk. I wouldn't think that'd be a thing with her, but it'd be kind of funny if she was actually really dangerous when she was drunk.
Why would she be more dangerous when she was drunk?
I don't know. It just seemed kind of out of the blue that she got drunk, and she got drunk really easily. To me,
Like drunken boxing and stuff like that.
or some drunken style though it doesn't really exist. It's just one of those. I feel like
That'd be
characters.
a good thing for That'd be a good thing for Master Roshi to have, like a drunken boxing style.
I think he did have
Could you
one.
totally see him having it? Well, no, they can't do drinking in Dragon Ball, but it would be funny if he did.
They can't they do drinking in Dragon Ball?
It's a kids show.
Have you seen Dragon Ball? What part of that was a kids show? Goku spent a good portion of that deep pantsing people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I have a feeling that getting drunk would cross the line. Like getting drunk would not be appropriate for Dragon Ball.
I think they could hide it underneath like something, calling it something dumb because like Naruto, they had moments of like Rock Lee unlocking Drunken Fist, but they didn't call it Drunken Fist in America. They called it Tipsy or whatever they called it. No, Loopy. They called it Loopy Fist. I'm not kidding. They literally called it Loopy Fist. So I feel like they could get away with drinking in Dragon Ball. And Naruto can do it. I think Dragon Ball could do it. Can't for next episode next week for Rurouni Kenshin. I guess speaking of Dragon Ball, because like I mean it's over, but like I found this interesting. and it's kind of like I don't know how I ultimately feel about this being the answer towards the Goku Super Saiyan 4 thing. Because this is becoming a huge debacle on the internet about like Super Saiyan 4 breaks so much canon that it's kind of ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
but breaking canon aside, uh, how Goku got it, how we assumed it was just like basically Goku was talking about he just trained and he had it and he wasn't sure it was gonna work. And I took it as him not thinking it was gonna work as like maybe he didn't know how to do it. Apparently, according to the director, they explained it this way: is that Goku trained so much after Buu, he realized that there was some power in him that he just couldn't reach, but he realized it was there, but he didn't know how to get to it. So never somehow just drawed it out is what happened there. Never drawed it out, and after that, Goku realized how to reach it, which is why he transformed into it willingly during that scene.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. Super Saiyan 4 is now a part of whatever it is. I mean, I don't know, like we're at a point now where Dragon Ball's got so much going on in it. I don't know if like there probably should be three separate canons at this point. Like the canon with Z, the canon with the canon that ends with GT in it, the canon, I mean more than three, but the canon that ends with GT, and then the canon that pretty much continues on from Z with the end of Super. The worst part is Akira isn't here with us it, to confirm any of it. It's like up to Toritaro, and I'm pretty sure Toritaro ain't gonna say anything. You know, like because he wasn't a part of Daima. He doesn't know what Akira meant by any of it. I mean, one of the things Toritaro has consistently said that he like working with Akira was kind of difficult because he didn't know what he meant by some of the things he said or like what he intended by some of the decisions that he made. So like like not everybody understood Akira Toriyama. Um, like I don't know. Like I mean I'm happy that Super Saiyan 4 is here, but I'm not happy about the kind of situation Super Saiyan 4 leaves us.
Which is.
Like where Super Saiyan 4 kind of fits in all this, and if we're going to see Super Saiyan 4 in the future, because to me, I'm taking this as Super Saiyan 4 just is in Diamond. That's it. We'll never see it again, which I guess like I'm fine with. But at the same time, we're gonna have the fans bringing this up in the future, like about Super Saiyan 4 and this or that, and it's just gonna cause so many issues. Me talking to people, and it's like I don't know, like in not Goma, no, it's in, yeah, Goma and Degas are still alive, and they're in a bottle. We know the demon realm exists. I suppose we're going to assume that because we haven't seen the Namekians in a while, the Namekians went to the demon realm or went back. I want to say we haven't seen much of the Namekians since like the Cell Saga. No, actually, the end of the Frieza Saga. Like they disappeared and went out to their own planet and went to another planet.
I think I agree with the criticisms about Daima. I think the ending was not great, and I think that Super Saiyan 4 was. If they were going to do Super Saiyan 4, they should have handled the timing of the series differently than they did. It should have fallen somewhere else in the timeline.
I guess to give my honest opinion here as best and honest as I can. Um, that I understand the timing situation. At the same time, I don't know. Like again, like I think it really fits into. I don't get Akira Toriyama's brain. I think this is what really Diamond kind of sums it up the best way possible. Is like I don't get Akira Toriyama's brain because Hello?
I'm here. You just disappeared for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, everything, the internet dropped on me
Oh,
just suddenly. Like I saw, like Crunchyroll died, and then Discord died, and then the Discord died. Like everything kind of just went through. Like, okay, I'm gonna get my point on this. We're gonna end it here. That's a sign. So, um, I was on something there.
is the podcast still running?
It's still running. Got reconnected. Apparently, this time it reconnected. I'm surprised. Um,
Okay.
it was on Super Saiyan 3. I had a thought process, and then everything just kind of went. But okay, I like oh yeah, that's what like I don't understand his thought process. I feel like a lot of it seems kind of random. I'm trying to figure out because he went from he started Dragon Ball and then he ended Dragon Ball. Then he continued the adventure in Z. Z got popular. And over the course of his working on Z, he wanted to end it after the Cell Saga, but it was too popular. He had to fight to end it with the Buu Saga. He ended up ending with the Buu Saga, and then after that, he ended. He did the final episode. He did the everything. He wrapped up Z. He wrapped it up. Um, Pretty much that at that point he stopped working on Z. He didn't work on anything Dragon Ball related. Pretty much for the last 10 plus years. Then Evolution came out to capitalize on Dragon Ball Z popularity over here in America. That flopped, caused Akira to come back into the scene, and then he started with the Battle of the Gods movie. That did surprisingly well in the movie theater. Then he managed to work on another movie beyond it, the Broly movie. But before that came out, he managed to start working on the anime in a continuation of Dragon Ball because Hollywood messed up Dragon Ball Z and he got really upset about it. This is documented, by the way. He actually goes on to mention that Evolution was so bad that it brought him back. Um, he continued with Super, and he had all that content with Super, and then like Super the anime ended, but the manga kept on continuing beyond it. And it's still going, by the way. But then for some strange reason, after the end of Super, there's been a few years. There was a few years between the end of Super, and then all of a sudden, there's talks of another Dragon Ball related piece of content media. Akira was not involved in it at first and was never meant to be a part of Daima. But Akira caught wind of this and then put himself in it to make himself involved. Akira's whole inclusion wasn't supposed to be a part of it to begin with. Um, which caused like the whole writing thing to kind of go up in the air, I'm guessing. But because of his inclusion, he managed to make his own version of Super Saiyan 4 into the show. But as for the order, I don't know. Maybe he should have. I guess the thing is like, maybe we should have had Daima first before we had Super. But I don't know, like because it seems like again, like Akira caught wind of Daima. It wasn't like this was Akira's idea first, anyway. So it sounds like maybe Daima was never meant to be canon to begin with, but Akira got involved in because it was his official content involved in it. It became more than just a random project that they were working on. But the issue is like I can't say that I would almost I can't say that I almost wish that he never made Super Saiyan 4. I can't say that. I can't say that I wish they never made Daima because I enjoyed Daima. Um, would I have liked to look like more content from the Super manga instead of us getting what we got here? Yeah, I mean, I read what's next after what happens in the tournament, and I always thought
Okay.
that was going to be next, but whatever reason, I read it in that time period in which there was nothing going on. Uh, so I know a little bit. I know overarching story notes, but what goes on, and I would say Tori Taro working on that was really good. I mean, like to me, it's like Akira should have probably retired and let Tori Taro handle everything, but um, we're at where we at right now because Akira made his decisions. Um, could Super Saiyan 4 have been done earlier? Yeah, I mean, was it a bad decision what he did? I don't know. I can't say for certain. Again, we don't know what was on his brain. What was in his brain. Um, I guess one of the biggest problems right now, and maybe this is like really what makes Super Saiyan 4, why Super Saiyan 4 is in such a bad spot. We don't know and I know people hate power scaling, but we don't know the power of Super Saiyan 4, like at all. We don't know what it's like compared to Divine Ki and Super Saiyan God, or even Ultra Instinct for that matter. If we could just get confirmation that it's weaker than Super Saiyan Blue, okay, I feel like maybe the fans would just accept that we weren't going to see Super Saiyan 4 ever again. But because we don't know that, this is like I think it's why we are where we are right now with it. Because like now we don't know if we're ever going to see it again. I think a lot of us are under the impression that we're not going to see it again, and that's more infuriating because like what was the point of even bringing it out to begin with? Let the fans speculate that Super Saiyan 4 was canon or whatever. A lot of us had moved on. I think a lot of us had forgotten about it or just didn't care anymore. I can say like, yeah, I like this inclusion in video games because that was cool, like not the GT. But other than that, it was like I didn't necessarily need this in my life. Um, I don't know about anybody else, but it's just like maybe we should have like continued Super and then doing this. But again, I don't want to sit there and say that I didn't like anything about Daima.
I like Diamond but it makes all of Dragon Ball problematic. Like, what are they going to do with their next series? Because there's no continuity anymore. If they come out with another like Dragon Ball series, like it
Well,
has nothing to rest on because they destroyed the continuity.
the thing is like I don't know how like Super Saiyan 4 makes things problematic. Yeah, I don't know how much of the continuity gets destroyed because of it. Um,
All of it.
I think it easily fit in with some wording from Goku that like maybe Vegeta suggests Super Saiyan 4 and then Goku's like I can't do that, or because something with the divine. I know it'd be a bunch of BS, but I mean at least recognizing that Super Saiyan 4 was a thing in the continuity would make things a little bit better. Um,
They could have handled it differently. All they needed to say was that they couldn't change into Super Saiyan 4 without Neva. But they did the opposite. They said he could have done it all along and that it had nothing to do with Neva.
well, a little bit at first had to do with Neva. He never made it easier for him to bring it up because I mean, according to the director, he realized it was there. He just didn't know how to access it.
But you know what I mean? Like they didn't have to do it that way. They didn't have to wreck everything like that.
Yeah, they didn't need to bring Super Saiyan 4 out.
No, it was great that they did Super Saiyan 4, and I think there was a way to do it that wouldn't have been a problem.
I don't know if there was a way they could have done it without being a problem. I think the idea that it exists, because even with Neva, what the heck?
Somebody invited me to play a game on Discord, that was all. On Steam, I mean.
Oh, okay, I I think I don't know. I think it's honestly it's just the power scaling with the Super Saiyan God stuff because like it's like we always assumed that Ultra Instinct was the strongest form that Goku could reach, and now 4 is here and we don't know anything about how strong it is. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta doesn't wreck anything, which is the surprising thing. It's just like okay, we now got confirmation that he can, and it's just like he just never did it. Um, I don't know why Super Saiyan 4 doesn't exactly fit that mold, but it's just like now we have this problem. Like Kira left Toratara. The best thing that can be done right now is just that we ignore Super Saiyan 4 going forward. I mean, we ignored it this far. I mean, I guess what difference would it be if it would never get acknowledged again? Yeah, I mean, I guess never being the reason, but it's like okay, well at that point we got that transmission locked behind character that we'll never see again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's worse or not.
They could have made it like you can't turn Super Saiyan 4 without one of those bugs. You eat a bug and you turn Super Saiyan 4. Like there was all sorts of things they could have done.
But no, but the idea it gets locked behind something forever. We'll never see it again. Like I mean, that forcibly locks it out because we will never see those bugs again in the canon. I mean, so at least that I'm aware of.
Except Bulma could have just, okay, like if they ever want to bring him back again, Bulma could have picked him up some on her trip over there to get more beauty supplies. Because Bulma would find a way to go over there. Now that she knows that she can look younger with those bugs.
I don't think Bulma even makes reference to that at all on the thing either. But that could easily just because she forgot or something like that. I don't know. Maybe the easiest thing would be just lock it behind Neva, but I just feel like that'd be kind of like an interesting lock behind. And I think people complain about that.
Yeah. I think that there was a way to do it. You know what I mean? They had options that wouldn't have messed up the timeline.
Honestly, I think the only option is that we never got it. I really think that is the only option. Because it existing poses a problem. Now, I guess what the other thing too is that maybe what ultimately could happen is that Goku realizes that he can't maintain Ultra Instinct for long, and it's just a waste of energy. Meanwhile, he could probably maintain Super Saiyan 4. You know, like maybe in his search for trying to train, he realizes that maybe Super Saiyan 4 is a lot more cost efficient than Ultra Instinct. But then again, I don't even know if that's even true for that matter. I guess the other option is like they say Goku completely forgot. They've done that before. You know, like he forgot about a transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that people don't like that explanation that he forgot, but and maybe the only way to explain away it wouldn't be clean, but it would be a way to clean up the mess. I guess the other option there is too that Kira and I got involved. Because I don't know if Super Saiyan 4 was as a result of him or not. I mean, it's probably been made clear that apparently that Super Saiyan 4 look it was Akira inspired. So it's possible that he shoved in Super Saiyan 4 at some point during the development of the show. Because at some point, like it got leaked that there was a Dragon Ball show coming out at some point, but nobody knew when it was coming. It just people knew that there was a Dragon Ball show in the pipeline, but no one knew when it was coming. And it does seem kind of weird that they revealed Akira was never supposed to be involved. But then we have Super Saiyan 4. Like, to me, a lot of that seems like it makes sense. Like Akira got involved, Akira had an idea, and regardless of what people were saying, he wanted to put it in there. So they didn't have time to like really make a plan for Super Saiyan 4. Like maybe they only got greenlit for 20 episodes, possibly. And the pacing problem that people were talking about that the show had, was just as a result of them trying to fit so much in, and like I don't want to blame it entirely on Akira. They could have easily said no to him, and they didn't. But I think there's a lot that we're not getting. I think Super Saiyan 4 might be a perfect example of we'll never know. Maybe we won't know until like maybe 5 to 10 years later. Information like this comes out. But I know that they're not gonna want to slander the man so close to him, like to the first year of him being gone.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what are they gonna do next? Like where are they gonna pick up next in Dragon Ball?
Maybe they have to. I mean, I guess not have to. I mean, I guess there's like, right now there's like content in the manga that Toritaro's working on. So if they want to continue off with what Toritaro's got, they have no excuse now because Akira is no longer here. So Akira can't stop them. And Toritaro, I gotta say, I really do think the stuff that he's made is really good. All things considered. I do think that it may not be perfect, but I think it does take into account some of the things that's been going on too. I will say that when Beast Gohan got made and then Orange Piccolo, it definitely did adapt that into the manga, so at least that way it's in there now. So it canonically happened. Well, with a little things happening there. I think a little bit more happened with Orange Piccolo, but he could easily adapt, find a way. I feel like Toritaro's gifted enough where he could find a way to squeeze Super Saiyan 4 if he wants to into the continuity of the dang show. But I guess as for right now, I'm gonna sit here and say that I think the best way to solve the Daima problem, I don't think it's canon. At least in my mind, it's not canon because like it existing in that timeline makes it offers too many problems. As cool as it would have been to have Goku go to the Demon Realm, I'm gonna go on the limb and say that it doesn't exist. Though unfortunately, because I say that doesn't mean it's true. Mainly because like they introduced the idea of multiple universes,
Yeah,
and we know a multiple universes in Super, so that only just there's too many stuff connected with Super at that point. Um, like I said, it just yeah, I mean yeah, it does offer some problems. Just it can't be canon if it offers problems. That's the only way over. That's the only real way out of it. Unless Toritaro will keep on saying, finds a way. I believe he will, but he's got a huge, and maybe that's why like he did that one shot because he needed time to find a way to figure out what to do with the diamond stuff.
maybe.
So well, what he released last month wasn't really anything progressing the plot. It was just about Goten and Trunks in high school. So like,
No, I don't want to see that. I don't care about Goten and Trunks in high school. It's gonna have to be a charming fucking like story for me to care.
I mean, it's just a one like chapter, one off thing. It's just about. It's not really just about them in high school. It's really just like, I mean, this isn't any better, but I'm just it's like, it's about like how they ended up getting their versions of the Great Saiyaman outfit. Like they take on the personas of Great Saiyaman X1 and Great Saiyaman X2. It just shows how they got to that point. Um, I
That
mean,
sounds
honestly,
dumb.
I think, huh?
That sounds dumb as fuck.
But Goten and Trunks working together has always just been on brand for those two. They never fought anything by themselves. And like I feel like maybe at some point we need to get more with them involved. I just don't know how or when they're gonna do that. Goten and Trunks have been lacking in terms of things that they've been doing. Um Supposedly those two are supposed to be just as strong as Gohan. I don't know why they're not at this point. In fact, they should be way stronger than Gohan at their age. I don't know why they're not.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'm just making accusations based on what I shouldn't like, what I feel like I know about how this stuff works. Because like, it was always touted by Piccolo that Gohan had endless potential. And then at some point they forgot about that and they brought it back up with Piccolo again. I don't know what's going on with there, but I'm just gonna let it happen. Uh, it's like what is what led to Beast Gohan. They never said that too much about Goten and Trunks. I know they may mention that Goten and Trunks both have the ability to get really strong, and it's kind of what led to Gotenks. But
Uh-huh.
but beyond Gotenks, we haven't seen much of them do anything. For the most part, they've just been jokes, like literal jokes. Like I mean, I don't know why they've been demoted that far. They shouldn't. I mean, on top of that, it's like I could see if they were weaker than Gohan if they were like 1/4 Saiyan, like what Pan is. But Pan shows a lot more potential to get stronger than they've shown like Goten and Trunks, which is kind of funny. But I don't know what's been going on with their uses of Goten and Trunks. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess basically I wanted to say about the Super Saiyan 4 thing. I read that apparently that he apparently knew it was there. He just didn't know how to access it. Almost what I would have preferred is like what if he had transformed into it, powered down, and realized he couldn't go back into it again. And he was like, "Oh dang it!" That
Yeah,
way, hmm?
could be cool.
I mean, that way it would lock it out and it would explain why he didn't use it against Beerus, which is I know one of your questions.
Or in the Tournament of Power.
The other option is it is wasteful.
It was always known as a really efficient form. In GT, it was a very efficient form.
Listen here, XOG. I don't know who told you there'd be cake. They lied to you. XOG is in chat if you wonder what I was talking about.
I just said hi. How long has he been there? Did he just respond? Or did he like respond like 20 minutes ago and we missed it?
I think he just started talking. Hey XOG, you come at the end of the podcast. We had a very insightful talk about politics if you want to watch the beginning of this later. Oh, Orange Man. Okay, I guess we'll end it here. I'll see if you'll respond to your question really quick before we end it. But I guess that's what I wanted to say about Daima. I enjoyed it. I don't know where they're gonna go from here. Maybe they don't go from here and they'll just continue with the manga and that's it. Maybe it's about time we say goodbye to Dragon Ball. As an anime, but I don't know.
I'd like to see more. I just want it to make sense. Don't screw it up.
They could do this on an anthology series where there's just many stories and mixed of it that don't really matter or connect to each other. Anything to get butts in here. I don't think that's really a part of getting butts in here. It's just oh, huh. Weird. I don't know what that first statement was towards. It was nice seeing you, XOG. I'm surprised you kind of came this late, but oh shoot, it's already 12 o'clock. It's 12
Very nice to see you.
Oh,
I know it is.
I didn't realize.
You get carried away very easily.
That means we're almost at 3 hours. This is pretty much the longest
podcast ever.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I heard you get your prime minister. But I guess with that, before we get into more politics and make this another hour, because I can. Don't test me. We'll end it here. Next week, next episode of Rurouni Kenshin. Maybe another topic. Maybe we'll talk about politics again. I hope not. But you see, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Huh?
Wasn't too bad to talk. Wasn't too bad to talk about it.
Well, we'll see how the response is, at least on my YouTube channel. I mean, I probably won't get a response because I never get comments. I do get likes, so somebody's watching it. I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But thank you for that one viewer that's watching. Maybe you from Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry if we scared you away again. Seems to be a habit with us. But see you guys next week. Stay safe out there. Stay away from, the news networks if you can, or, don't watch too much of it so you become depressed. We got a long 4 years here in America, and I apologize to every other country in the world that gets affected by this, because apparently you will.